Hey everybody, Pegleg TV here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up communication with Voxcommando from inside and outside your local network and be able to get voice feedback from outside your local network. In order to do this, I'm using an extra Android device, Tasker, AutoRemote, AutoVoice, and UDP plugin, of course, Voxcommando as well. So we're just going to jump right into a quick little demo, and then I'll jump into Tasker and show you how to set it up there. Okay, so as you can see there, I'm not connected to any Wi-Fi. I'm just using 4G. So I'm going to go ahead and issue my command. What time is it? And then I've got it pop up a little message to let me know that it's sent to AutoRemote. Okay, message was sent.
Good morning, the time is now 10:36 a.m.
Now you can see I'm connected to my local Wi-Fi. What time is it?
Good morning, the time is now 10:40 a.m.
And here's a shot of the tablet that I use. This is also my remote, but it also helps with my communication from inside and outside of my local network. So let's go ahead and jump into Tasker and we'll get started. Okay, so being that while connected to our local Wi-Fi, using the UDP Sender is a faster method of communicating with Voxcommando. We're going to go ahead and create a profile that will keep track of whether or not we're connected to our local Wi-Fi. So we're going to go ahead and create a new profile and select state, and we're going to use Wi-Fi connected, and then just go ahead and put in your SSID, and then go ahead and hit the Tasker back button, select new task. We're going to go ahead and call this one home, and for now we're just going to add in a variable set, and we're going to use variable home with a capital H, and then we're going to set it to home with a capital H, and go ahead and hit the back button and back button again. And then we're going to go ahead and long press on the new task, and we're going to click add exit task. And again, we're going to create a new task. We're going to call this one away, and we're going to use variable set again, and we're going to use home with a capital H, and then we're going to set it to away with a capital A. Go ahead and hit the Tasker back button again. We're going to go ahead and rename this profile to home / away. And now we're going to add in a new profile. We're going to select state. We're going to use plugin, AutoVoice. And then we're going to use recognize. We're going to click configure. And then we're going to check event behavior. Go ahead and hit the check mark and hit the Tasker back button. We're going to select new task. We're going to call it phone to VC. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in a new action. We're going to do net HTTP GET. And then go ahead and put in your IP address and port number for your Voxcommando server. And then the path, we're going to go ahead and put in /API /VC.triggerEvent. And then we're going to go ahead and put in $&. And we're going to use sender with a capital S. I guess it doesn't really matter if you need the capital S or not. But we're going to put in sender. And then $& again. For payload 2, you're going to want to use the name that you want to give your device that you're going to use in Voxcommando with your map table. So in my case, I use Pegleg's phone, and then on my Voxcommando map table, I have Pegleg's phone and then the API key for my phone. So we'll just go ahead and put that name in. And then we can go ahead and scroll down. We'll select continue task after error, and then go ahead and hit the Tasker back button. And now we're going to go ahead and add another action, and we're going to use variable set. And we want to set VCMSG, so Voxcommando message. And we want to set that to AV comms. Make sure you add the S on there. No filter. left parentheses, right parentheses. And and then just double check, make sure you don't have a space in there like mine automatically did on me. Okay, so we have %AVComms no filter, and then we can go ahead and hit the back button, and then we're going to add in a variable search and replace, and we're going to search VCMSG. We're going to search for a comma, and we want to click replace, and we're going to replace it with a double ampersand, and then we can go ahead and hit the tasker back button. And now we're going to add another action. We're going to go ahead and use plugin UDP Sender. We're going to click configure. We're going to add in our IP address, and then we're going to use port 33,000, and that's what Voxcommando listens to for UDP packets. We're going to go ahead and use Android phrases for our text. And then we're going to put in ampersand, ampersand. And then we're going to add in %VCMSG. And then go ahead and click the check mark. And hit the tasker back button. And tasker back button again. Now we're going to long press where it says AutoVoice recognized. We're going to click add. We're going to select state. And we want to use variable value. We want to use the variable of home with a capital H. We want to select matches and set the value to home with a capital H, and go ahead and hit the tasker back button. Now we're going to go ahead and rename the profile, and we're going to name it phone to VC. So our next profile is for communication between our phone and our Android device that's on our local network. So we're going to go ahead and start by hitting the plus button. We're going to select state. We're going to go plugin and AutoVoice, and we're going to use recognized. Go ahead and hit the pencil to configure it. Check mark event behavior, and then click the check mark at the top and hit the tasker back button. We're going to create a new task. We're going to call it phone to Android with a capital P and a capital A. Go ahead and hit the check mark. We're going to go ahead and add in a variable set action. Our variable is going to be phone to Android with a capital P and capital A again. We're going to set it to %AVComms no filter with left parenthesis, right parenthesis. And again, make sure you check for the space between the parenthesis and the last letter. We don't want that there. Go ahead and hit the tasker back button. We're going to add in a new action. We're going to go ahead and select plugin and AutoRemote, and we're going to click message, click configure. Now up here at the top, you're going to want to select your device that you want to send to. So the device that you're leaving at home, that's what you're going to want to select there. And then we're going to go ahead and go to message, and we're going to use on to, so capital O, lowercase n, number 2, capital V, capital C, and then equals, colon equals, and we want to put %, and we want to put phone to Android. Make sure you use a capital P and a capital A. And then we want to do equals, colon equals again. And then we want to put in our phone's name. And then go ahead and click OK. And hit your back button. Hit your tasker back button. And hit your tasker back button again. And now we're going to long press on AutoVoice recognize event behavior true. We're going to click add. We're going to select state. And we're going to use variable value. And we're going to use variable home with a capital H. And we want it to match away with a capital A. And then hit the tasker back button. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to long press and rename the profile. And we're going to call it phone to Android with a capital P and a capital A. Go ahead and hit the check mark. Okay, and for the next profile, we're going to select event. We're going to use plugin. We're going to use AutoRemote and select AutoRemote again. Click configure. For message filter, we're going to use VC say with VC and S all capitalized. Click the OK button. Go ahead and hit your back button, your tasker back button. We're going to create a new task. We're going to call it VC Say. And we're going to have one action in here. And we're going to use the action Say. And then for the text, we're going to use %ARCOM. And then go ahead and hit your tasker back button and tasker back button again. We're going to long press AutoRemote VC Say profile. We're going to rename, and we're going to call it VC to Phone Talk. And then go ahead and hit the check mark. Okay, now for our next step, we're going to want to go into our home away profile. We're going to want to select home, and we're going to want to add in two actions to disable one profile and enable another when we're at home. So for the first one, we're going to go ahead and hit the plus mark. We want to use profile status. And the profile we want to use on the first one is phone to Android. And we want to set it to off. Go ahead and hit the tasker back button. For the next one, we're also going to use profile status. And we want to use phone to VC. And we want to set it to on. Then go ahead and hit the tasker back button. And hit the tasker back button again. Now we're going to go into away. And we're going to do the same thing, but in reverse. So we're going to use profile status again. We're going to select phone to VC. We're going to have it set to off. Go ahead and hit the tasker back button. And then we're going to add another profile status again. And we're going to select phone to Android. And we're going to set it to on. And then go ahead and hit the tasker back button and the tasker back button again. So for the next part, we're going to jump over to the tablet and I'll show you how to set it up on that end. Okay, so now that I'm on my tablet, this is the same tablet that I used for my remote. We're going to go ahead and start by creating our profile. We're going to select event and we're going to select plugin. We're going to select AutoRemote and AutoRemote again. Go ahead and click configure. And we want to use message filter, and then we're going to use onto VC with the O, V, and C capitalized, so it should look like this. Go ahead and hit your back button and your tasker back button. We're going to create a new task. We're going to call it pass to VC. We're going to go ahead and add a new action, and we're going to use variable set. In the first variable, we want to use VC Sender, all lowercase. In our second variable, we want to use %ARCOM2, which is our second payload from our AutoRemote message. And then we can go ahead and hit our tasker back button. And now we're going to add a new action, and we're going to use net HTTP GET. We're going to add in our IP address and port number for our Voxcommando setup. And now we're going to add in our path, and it's going to be /API /VC.triggerEvent. And then we're going to add in ampersand. And we're going to use, for our event, we're going to use sender with a capital S. And then we're going to add in another ampersand. And we're going to use %VC Sender, all lowercase. And then we're going to go ahead and scroll down. And we're going to check continue task after error and go ahead and hit the tasker back button. So this last action that we just made, the HTTP GET, that is our event trigger that we use to let Voxcommando know who's sending the coming message. And now we're going to add another action. And we're going to use variable set. And now we're going to use phone VC MSG as our variable. And then we want to set it to %ARCOM1. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the tasker back button. And now we're going to use a variable search and replace action. And we're going to use variable phone VC MSG again. We want to search for a comma, and we want to check replace matches, and we want to use 2 ampersands, And then we can go ahead and we can hit the tasker back button. And now we're going to add in another action, and we're going to add in UDP Sender. So we're going to use plugin, and we're going to select UDP Sender, and we're going to select configure. And then we can go ahead and enter in our IP address. And then for our port number, we want to use 33,000, as that's what Voxcommando listens to for UDP packets. For our text, we want to use android.phrases to start with. And then we'll add in ampersand, ampersand. And then we're going to use %phone VC MSG, all lowercase again. And that's what our configuration needs to look like. So let's go ahead and click done. And then go ahead and hit the tasker back button. And hit the tasker back button again. And now we can go ahead and click and rename this profile so we know what it is down the road. And we can go ahead and call it Onto VC. And that should do it. Thanks for watching.